Happy Monday morning journalism class. This is Mr. Pulsifer, and today I'm going to break down some of the things I'm going to be covering as far as new content and how we're going to approach our online learning platform here in this class. Before we begin, a couple things that I want to let you know or make sure that you know. If you ever need to email me, please email me at gage.pulsifer@canyonsdistrict.org. That's going to be the best place to get to me. If you go to the CSD docs email, I might not see it or it might not get to me as quickly. The second thing is if you are ever confused or struggling with a project, you can see me during my office hours from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning. If you go to meet.google.com and type in the code Breakfast News with Mr. Pulsifer, which will be right here, you can go and you can see me on a video chat. So you can ask questions, say hello, get clarification of any assignments, and get brought up to speed that way. All right. So we're looking to be in this online digital platform style of learning for the next 6 weeks, so until around May 1st. This may get extended out, but for now we're thinking we're going to be back for this final month of school, and I really hope we are. I miss you guys. It's been very lonely around my house, and as you can see, I'm back in the classroom just because I needed to get out of my house. So here's how we're going to handle the next 6 weeks, all right? We're going to have an extended project that we're going to be working on each and every week. It'll probably be due right around May 1st, the end of April. And we're going to be then having some smaller assignments that happen as well. Now, my goal is to give you guys about an hour, maybe an hour and a half of work per week max. I'm going to try to make sure that you guys aren't burnt out. However, if you find yourself with a lot of free time and you want to spend some more time working on this class, I'm going to create the assignments that we're doing in a way that you can scale them, right? So you can make them longer or harder, but I'm going to just kind of have a base version that we're all going to work on. And that's kind of going to be like the least amount of time spent, so about an hour, hour and a half-ish. If you want to spend more time on these and extend these projects out, you're going to be more than welcome to. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into our first extended project. So this project is going to start this week, and it's going to carry on for the next 6 weeks, or if we are in this online learning environment longer than that, we might extend it out, or I might just have a different project then, a different long project for that last month. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is keep a weekly vlog, a weekly journal, or a weekly reflection. Now, it can be either of those three pieces, and I'll break down what those can look like in just a moment. But what I'm going to basically be asking you to do is reflect on what you're doing each week, how you're feeling, the state of affairs here in the United States, right? Just keep a record of what is going on in your life. I think this is really important for us, because there has never been a time in most of our lifetimes where this has happened, and I hope there isn't a time when it happens again. And it will be nice and interesting for you guys to see how this looked when you're older, right? So this is something you can explain to your kids or your future grandkids. Right now, I've been keeping a journal with this, and I'll have all my videos that I'm giving to you guys to kind of remember this little snapshot in time. But I want you guys to have that as well. So once a week, if you are doing this in a written format, right? So you could type up a journal reflection, you could handwrite it. If you handwrite it, when we turn this in, I'm going to just ask that you take a picture of it, and you'll turn that in via Canvas. So what I would do is, if you're handwriting or typing this, I would just create a date.
Mr. Evans, will you please come to the attendance office?
So I would just create a date for it, so you know, or I know when this was written. So you could say, you know, like Wednesday, March 26th, right? That sort of thing. And then just give me a couple paragraphs on what's been going on, what's new, right? So you might be like, I'm frustrated with online learning. I never thought that I would say this, but I miss school because I can't see my friends, or I miss this class, right? So just kind of take this as an opportunity to kind of put out what you're feeling or what's new with you, right? For example, there's a couple things that I've been doing to keep myself busy. So I have a home gym, so I'm working out a lot. I'm doing a lot of cooking now because I have more time on my hands to actually cook good food that I like. I've been using this time to read. and play guitar, right? So I might record some of that stuff that I've been doing and just get that out on the page. I'm thinking probably once a week, and 2 to 3 paragraphs is all I'm looking for the base level. Right? Now, if you want to extend this out, you could do it multiple times a week, or you could do it every day. It just depends on you, right? So everyone should be doing at least once a week. Just pick a day that works, right? So maybe Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Just pick a day where you can keep it constant. If you want to, you could do it like the first part of the week and the end of the week, or you could do every day, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever you want to do. So if you want to scale it and do more, you're more than welcome to. Now, another thing that you can do is you can go into a vlog format. So let's say you use the webcam on your computer. If you have a tablet or an iPad like I do, you could just record yourself like I'm doing here, or even with a phone, right? So all you would basically do is, like, let's say you're using your phone, take out your phone, and you would just create a video, right? So you would say, hey, this is today's date, and then you would just film yourself filling the watcher or the consumer in on what's going on with your life, right? So those don't have to be long or crazy. I'm saying probably like 5 minutes max. Just kind of the same thing as the written portion. Just what have you done? What are you doing to fill your time? Was there anything new or exciting that happened? Just use it as a time to kind of get out, vent, all that same sort of stuff. So like most of you have probably noticed, like Kirsten does this, or was doing this like every day with her phone, just like giving a quick update. So think of it like that. If you're going and doing like a daily vlog, then you can kind of take the time down a little bit each day. Like each day doesn't have to be 5 minutes, but we're thinking once a week, 5 minutes. And then if you're going every day, it could be 5 minutes every day. It could be 5 minutes every, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that sort of thing. So keep it nice, keep it easy. It's going to be kind of slam dunk points. It'll be a big project grade in the grade book, and that's how you're going to get the points for that. All right? Now, as far as our weekly assignments go, I'm going to give you an assignment that's going to go this week into next week. All right? So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is do an interview with a family member. I think right now a lot of us are having time with parents, with siblings that we normally wouldn't get. For some of us, that may be a little too much time. But we have some flexibility on how to do things, right? So as journalists, you can do interviews with people. Think about it. We have biographies that are written all the time, or bios. So what I'm going to ask you to do is think to yourself, who's someone that I want to interview? So you could interview an older sibling, your parents, aunts, uncles, cousins. I think the coolest people to interview right now would be grandparents. You can kind of make sure that they're doing all right, get a chance to talk to them, that sort of thing. So I'm going to break down how this would work. So this week, what you're going to do is you're going to jump onto Discussion Board in Canvas. So if you go to Canvas, you look on the left-hand side of the menu, you'll see a label called Discussion Board. When you click into that, basically what you're going to be able to do is create like a post, right? So you'll say, here's the list of people I'm thinking of interviewing. So you're going to have a brainstorm list of people you want to interview, and you're going to create and update a list of questions that you might ask that person, right? So we know basic questions, right? Like what's your favorite color, all that sort of stuff. But what you're going to do to make this assignment really pop is try to find questions that are going to get them to talk more, right? So it's not just like, did you have a favorite toy as a child? And you'll just get a yes or no answer. But try to give questions that are going to get your subject to respond more, right? So if I were to ask my grandpa, I could say, Grandpa, what was your favorite toy and why growing up, right? And so then I would get this answer of why it was his favorite, all that same sort of stuff, right? And try to find questions that build on one another. So this is going to be a good way to get to know your family and kind of keep a record of some of the stuff that a lot of people oftentimes miss out on. And this is a really neat opportunity for you guys to use some technology and do some different things, keep in contact with some family members while still building those journalism skills. So a couple ways to make this easy, right? You'll use Discussion Board. What I would do is as everyone starts posting their own posts in the Discussion Board, you'll be able to view not only their list of people they want to interview, but you'll be able to see their questions as well. So for example, if someone's questions aren't making sense, or if there's something that you find interesting, you could comment and you could say like, hey, I really like the 7th question on your list. Do you mind if I borrow that? And they can type yes, right? So just like we would do in class, where we'd have a discussion of like what are good questions, what aren't good questions, and all that same sort of stuff where you guys could brainstorm and come together, we'll do that in a digital format, right? So that's what we're gonna work on this week. So you'll get some points for that, for posting as well as interacting with some of your classmates. Now, if you're having trouble with that, as always, email me or come find me on Google Meets in the morning, and I can share my screen with you guys and kind of walk you through what this looks like. I'll try to make sure that I have a post on Canvas so you guys can kind of see some of the questions I would come up with. I'll get on there and interact with you guys as well, all right? And that's going to lead us into actually doing the interview next week. So what I'm going to have you guys do is take those interview questions and ask them to your subject. Now, I'm going to give you multiple ways that you can complete this assignment. Pick the one that's easiest for you and that makes the most sense. So for example, if I were interviewing someone that actually lives in my household, there's a lot of ways you could do this. Number one, you could simply ask the questions and write their response down on paper, like do like a actual article, that's fine. If you wanted to do a Q&A format, right, where like you type up your questions and you have your parents write down their response or type down their response, you can do that as well. Honestly, I think that you could probably type their stuff up a little bit easier, and that would kind of make it more of a conversation, which is the point of this whole assignment. But you can do it that way, right? Now, other options that you've got. If you have a phone, a smartphone, or if your parents have a smartphone, what you can do is you can go to like the voice memos, or you can voice record people. You can find apps for it really easily too. Simply turn on that voice record, set your phone down. What I would do is do a test run just to make sure both of you are being able to be heard over the mic, and just ask those questions that way and have a conversation, right? Just record it, and then you could turn that into Canvas next week and get your points that way. If you wanted to, you could set up a tablet, a webcam, phone on a tripod, anything you want, and you could take a video or do a video interview. That's totally acceptable as well. Super awesome. Now, that works if you have the person in your actual home. That makes it easy. If you're wanting to interview your great Aunt Tessa that lives in Alabama, that might be a little bit harder, right? So what I would do is there's a couple things you can do. You can screen grab FaceTime videos. I would just Google how to do that. It would be a little bit easier that way. Or if you use a tool like Skype or Zoom, like many of your teachers might be using right now. So if you go to, or look up Zoom on Google, you can sign up for a free account. You can get your family members to sign up for a free account. And then you can have a face-to-face conversation through using webcams. If one of you guys don't have it, you can do a voice call through the internet as well. But the cool thing about Zoom is you can just click a record button and you can do it that way, right? And then you could just simply turn that video in or give me a link to that for earning your points, right? So I hope that these assignments are easy. I'm trying to build content that you can build up, right? So like if you do one interview and you're like, oh man, that was awesome, and you have some time to kill later in the week and you want to interview someone else, you're more than welcome to. I'd be super stoked to see that. So use this time to the best of your ability to do some fun stuff. If you're having issues, guys, please email me, all right? So if I'm seeing a lot of us are having issues with like pacing of the lesson, I can pare stuff back, or I can help give some clarifying instructions, all that sort of fun stuff. All right, so I hope you guys are doing well. I really miss you guys, and if you ever want to say hi, come say hi via Google Meets. I'll be seeing you in the discussion boards. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you later.